welcome to Find It on this Wednesday evening. We are live right now, and I have a special guest, and I've announced who it is, and I will again in a minute. But first, if you notice at the top of your screen, this episode is brought to you by Studio 11 Style, and the QR code is on the other side. And I guess if you're on your iPhone and you're watching this not on a laptop, you might be able to push that QR code and it takes you to Studio 11 Style, which is all about more than fashion. It's all about digging deep and being the person that you're meant to be, and then dressing cute to fit your body type. So we go live every single Monday night at 7 p.m. with the whole team of gals to show you how different clothes fit different body types and all of that. So I'm really excited for you to join us there as well. But tonight on Find It, this is the podcast where we're finding something. And tonight my daughter is with me, Victoria Bettendorf. We call her Tori. She is definitely an 11, if you know what that means. Studio 11 Style. You can figure that out when you join us on Monday nights. But I'll tell you what, we are going to discuss how we are unlearning things that have kept us small. So hang tight, and Tori will be right back with us. Well, welcome, my daughter.
Hello.
This is the only way I get to see her, people.
Oh, hush.
There we go. Here we go. Well, hello. We have some people coming in. I think some of Lynn's followers on her, I don't know, Lynn, I just saw someone peek in and say hello. And I think these are some of the people you have been getting to know through social media. What is that, Lynn? Explain to us.
Well, I'm a content creator, so I'm globally known now. So I have friends in Bangladesh and all over the place. So they might be popping in, and that's one of my faithful followers.
Yeah,
so
well, hello,
thank you so
Lukeman.
much.
Oh,
Yes.
that's awesome. Okay, well, good. Stay tuned and listen to some good conversation tonight. Thanks for joining us.
And it's morning over there.
And it's morning, so good morning. Good morning to you. Okay, great. All right, so Tori and I are going to dive in and talk about some things. But first, how was your day?
Good. It was stressful. I'm a full-time attorney now, so I'm doing all the things and being stressed all the way out. So
Well, wait a minute. Have you been on this podcast since you've been an attorney?
no.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
So you guys can understand why I don't get to see her very much. She's kind of busy, but we're working on not being stressed and taking off. Hello, Joe. Did you know that Tori girl has the same name as you? Wow, we must be related. But you're working on learning how to let go of the day and then come home and be stress-free, right?
Right, in a way. I mean, it's a stressful job, so it takes a minute to come down from that, but we're going to have fun tonight. We're going to have
a good time. We're going to have a good time. And you know what? Something else, like it is a stressful industry and it's sort of like a man's world, right? Still.
It's slowly turning to a woman's world.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so once the older generation retires, and that's putting it nicely, it'll be mostly women in the field. Or
Wow,
equal.
or more equal. Yeah.
More equal, yeah.
Well, I think the world is shifting and changing, and there's more women who are having careers and things like that. So it makes total sense. Barbie, we love you too. Thanks for joining us tonight. It's good to see you here. Courtney, I get it, Tori. I work from home, so it's hard to separate that for me sometimes. Yes, Courtney, working from home I used to do that. It is very difficult to be able to manage when you need to shut it off because you're working in the same space and as where you relax. So that is extremely difficult. But anyway, so what I said at the beginning, and Tori briefly and I, we're on the phone when I was driving to the studio and she was driving home from work about what we wanted to discuss tonight. And the theme of it really is, as we were raised, and especially me and in my era, my mom always taught me, be polite, be nice. Of course we want to be nice. Of course we want to be polite. But she also didn't really want me to ruffle any feathers and just get along and be kind and all of that, which I am on board with, and I 100% believe in that. But at what expense? And at what do you have to sacrifice to always be nice and just not say anything to cause anybody to get upset? Then sometimes, and most of the time, I would even go as far to say it drains you, and you never stand in your power, and you are taken advantage of. And people, I believe that you do teach people how to treat you. And if you always just take it and not say anything, then they believe that that behavior is acceptable when it isn't. And you slowly get resentment, and then you lose confidence in yourself. And I want to ask Tori, what do you think of that?
Well, I think that you definitely learn from that as you grew as a person. I think that one thing that I always try to keep in mind is it's your first time living too. I think that's
yeah, and it's my first time being a mom. I mean, I've never had this job.
I think that you forget that your parents are people too. We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
And have flaws as well and great things too. So I think for me, I learned to be nice. You always told me to be nice. I think that I was a little bit more of a spitfire than you were at my age.
Yeah.
So as I'm growing a little quicker in that way than you did. At 26, I think that I stand up for myself a little bit more than you did when you were 26. So
yeah,
I think
definitely, I agree with that.
I think that instead of telling me to just, be nice and don't ruffle any feathers, I think that your message was be kind, don't be outwardly rude for no reason. Don't go pick fights. But if someone does something to you that's unfair, that's disrespectful, you come out swinging a little bit. Don't just, sit there and take it.
I think that I learned that as I went along, as you said, and I never wanted you to allow someone's bad behavior to be acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
And so I learned that because I allowed that, and I didn't like it. So
you don't like how you feel.
Right.
It's like in the moment you think that you're being a good person. I think that the biggest thing is like, are you sacrificing your own self-worth and your own mental health for being a people pleaser? Like that's what a people pleaser is. Like you're going like, well, it doesn't matter if I feel sad or angry about the way someone treated me before. Like you're gonna just not, you want to be liked more than you want your self-respect. That's what it boils down to, I think.
Ooh, that's so true. You don't realize at the time that you're sacrificing your self-respect, but that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, the
It's
reality.
not like I was making a decision to only have one or the other. I really believed it for a long time that and I always did want people to like me. And I've grown to the point where it's okay if someone doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also like if everybody liked you, you are pleasing everybody. You have to be able to also have constructive conversations and agree to disagree and still like one another. Right?
I think also like if people choose not to like you, they're not going to like you. No matter what you do, they'll find something. People are good at that. They're good at finding it. They're good at finding something to hate you.
We found it, people. We have found what we're talking about.
They'll hang on to one thing or do one thing and say, oh, so even if you do, like, there's no point in sacrificing your self-worth at that point. It's you're giving it up for somebody who's going to find a reason anyway. So.
And I have also found that 9 times out of 10, I would say, if someone dislikes someone for really no reason, it's their issue.
Mm-hmm.
It's not anything that you have done or haven't done. It's their issue and something they need to heal through.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but when you're raised to be nice, don't ruffle any feathers, just, get along, just go on. It's no big deal. Don't argue about it. I didn't ever want to teach you and Dalton to argue. I just wanted you to stand in your power and also have self-respect and be able to say to someone in the moment, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be treated that way, and I don't deserve that, and I'm not going to stand around for it.
Right. I think also what you did is you mixed that in with the what did you do? Which pissed me off. Like, okay, I'm sitting, getting home, getting angry, and I'm spouting off about what somebody did or didn't do. And my mom's like, well, what did you do? That sounds very out of character for that person. And I'm like, can you shut up and just take my side? And then you're like, well, then very rarely have you ever like, you've stayed very objective, right?
Neutral until
until you know, like, and I think that what you did as like when Dalton and I were both growing up, you kept your opinions about other people quiet. Like you let us figure it out. If you thought we were going to go down a road that you didn't like, you kind of pushed us to be like, oh, maybe let's not do that. Or you wouldn't allow us to do something and keep it to yourself. I think a lot of parents, and we're getting into parenting, but a lot of parents, they will.
After all, you do have a Doberman. So you got a little parenting skills going, right?
A toddler, like a 3-year-old. Yeah. But yeah, you never like badmouthed anybody to get your point across. You were like, listen, I'm telling you this because this is how it is. And at the time I was upset about that, but I think you did a good job of towing that line of keeping your opinions to yourself, but also making sure we knew what the reality was.
Well, I don't feel like I need to say anything negative about anybody. But if the point comes to where it's going to affect someone that I love, then maybe something has to be said, is how I always feel about it. To this day, I feel like I don't want to spread negativity about any other person, even if I feel like I've been done wrong. Because, you know, our experiences with different people are. Have you read that thing, Tori? And I sent it to Trudy and Sean, and I sent it to a bunch of people about who you are to every other person that you meet. You can be that terrible person. You can be the most amazing person. You can be, because everyone meets you in different places of your life. And sometimes what they get from you is maybe not that great.
Mm-hmm.
We all have sides, right? But this person may have an interaction with me where I do stand in my power and I say, I don't like that. And people don't like to hear if we have upset you.
I'm so sorry.
What's she doing?
She put both paws on her bone and raking it across the
Can
heart.
you maybe go get that from her so we're not listening to that?
She's going to lay down. There she goes.
Okay.
It's better than her barking or barking out the window.
I don't know. That was pretty loud. But anyway, I just feel like people don't love it when you tell them that you're upset about, you know, typically. I mean, people react defensively to that typically. But I really feel like if you stand in your power and speak your piece right then in the moment. Remember what Dalton said to us, and it makes so much sense. This is my other kid. He's only been on one time. Where he said, you know, if you respond in the moment to someone being negative to you, that is you. You know, what did he say? It was like
he goes, if you defend yourself in the moment, that's you standing up for yourself. That's defending yourself and you know, doing that. That's a positive thing in a way, as long as you're not cussing somebody out. But then if you go back and you stew on it, that's resentment.
Yeah, if you stew on it, and then you get yourself all worked up and you go, well, I'm going to do this now, like 2 days later. Dalton's like, that's spiteful. That isn't being productive and doing things in a natural way. So, yeah. But yeah, so I feel like your generation seems to be a little bit more, I think it's individual for sure. I'm not trying to like put you all in one.
Let's see if it's true though. I'm interested.
I'm not trying to stereotype you, but I think that because there are podcasts, right? There are there's social media. You get to follow people and see what they say about situations and friendships and in work social settings and corporate you get to see and listen to other people say, here's my scenario, I handled it. Whereas when I was growing up, there was no social media. I mean, we had like 4, 6, and 10, like NBC, CBS. I mean, there wasn't all of this that you could learn from. So social media and all the things can be negative, but it can be very positive too.
Where I think there's a diminishing returns with it. So like there's so many people, there's so easy to get a podcast microphone. That's what people say. We need to make it harder for people to get microphones for podcasts, because let me tell you why. Okay. There are too many people out there putting their opinions out there that some of them are toxic. Some of them are not okay. Like, and then more people are like, yeah. It's like,
it's adding fuel to the fire of anger. Yeah. Angry people find the angry people, and then they get more and more angry together. So that's not a positive thing. But back to the subject at hand is this. You're exposed to so much more than I was.
Right.
You have material readily at your fingertips to look up. How would this handle this? How would all of the things. So that it can be good and bad. I agree with you on that. However, I know that by the time you came along, I had learned some lessons in life and knew that it didn't feel good to me to allow bad behavior. And, I had to unlearn, right? I had to unlearn what I had been taught about always just keeping it low key, don't ruffle any feathers, don't throw the stone and get ripple effect, just get along. And I am so in love with the fact that I want to get along, and I love and I love my friends, and I love my family, and I love strangers. You know how I am, Tori. You always say, I feel people's energy, and I love that. But but if someone is outwardly not nice to you, you should. Laura says, yeah, that's true. And I saw Roxy piping in too. It's true. It's so much more difficult to stand up for yourself in the moment than what it seems like it would be. Yeah. There's so many scenarios where it's easier too, right? So let's be accountable for that. It's easier to walk away and stew about it later than to acknowledge and address it in the moment, I think.
It can be uncomfortable. Can we talk about you making me uncomfortable in public? Can we talk about that?
Okay, so you're getting better with it. Okay, go ahead, I guess.
So mom feels, we just talked about how mom feels. Sometimes she'll see people and she'll be like, I feel like they're sad. And then she'll go up to them and be like, are you sad? Could you imagine?
I don't say, are you sad?
It's something going on. Are you,
Are you okay?
Are you okay? Could you imagine a random lady coming up to you at the grocery store or something after you were maybe you did have a bad day. You don't want anybody to talk to you. And this random lady comes up to you and goes, are you okay? And you burst into tears in the pasta section, and she's just like, I know, I felt it, and walks away. Yeah, Mom. Wow. I'm sure that's happened. A similar thing has happened to you, or you've done it to somebody.
Well, that reminds me, you would have been running for the hills. The other day, I had to go put money in somebody's meter that was shopping. And I ran down there and I put money in the meter, and I turned around and there was a lady distraught. She was on her cell phone and she was like, and I was like, oh my God. I mean, it was awful. She was so upset. And I don't know why I'm laughing, because you're making me laugh. I was on the phone. I didn't want her to get in a car. She was getting ready to go she was upset. And I go, she didn't even see me. She was distraught. And I went over and I touched her arm, and she was like, and I go,
yeah, don't. Why are you touching people in public? You don't know.
I don't know. I felt like I needed to. And I said, I'm so sorry. Everything's going to be okay. And then she just looked at me like I was nuts, and I went on. But you're right, Roxy. Sometimes people need to know that someone cares about them. See, Roxy could do that.
Yeah, okay. I think that I don't know. If I was distraught in public, I've been distraught in public before. And if someone touched my arm, I would be like calling the police.
Tori, you would be.
I'd be like, don't touch me. You random lady.
We're so different in that way. Oh, so yeah, but so I say this sometimes because it makes me laugh. I think that in like your generation too, people are so used to not human contact.
Well,
that-
whoa,
Listen,
whoa, whoa.
no, I do. I feel like people my age, I feel like you can walk up and like say, "Hey, how are you?" or whatever, and they're like, "It's fine." But if you talk to someone your age on the street, this has happened to me before. Many
Tell us.
It's not discouraging me. Many times I've been walking down the street and I'm like, "Hey, how are you?" And they look at me like, "Do I know you?"
Yeah.
They don't even say anything back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, that's sad." So,
Yeah. I mean, it's okay to be nice. I'm not saying don't like if you see somebody, don't be like, "Oh, cute shoes" or whatever. I do that. Like if I see somebody,
but
like,
that even used to embarrass you
yeah,
when I would do that. See, you're growing up.
yeah,
Well, what did you say though that one time? You're like, "It does feel good when someone tells me my outfit looks cute."
yeah.
And it does. So I always say, don't say something's cute if you don't really like it. But if you love something, you should tell them.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
You should say.
Yeah,
So, but I always say like on the live streams for Studio 11 style, like not always, but I have mentioned it several times, like how you'll say, "Oh my gosh, mom, you scare people."
you do. You come in really hot. I
I
mean,
do have a lot of energy. I know. So, but also with babies, and I get really excited and I'm like, "Ah!" And then they're like, "Ah!" And then, so I'm working on that. And, I come in and just try to ignore them for a second and then slide in, like quiet, kind of talk silent. So that's been a positive thing. So I've not scared any babies lately, just on the street, just ladies on the street. But I mean, like even in work environment. Now here you are, and I know you're not going to talk about situations at work because that wouldn't be appropriate. But even when in work relationships, to be able to express yourself in the moment when something isn't right or it's coming off rude or disrespectful, that's difficult, right?
there have been a lot of times where, like, I have encountered people who have made comments about me or to me that I've been like,
In the workforce or when
yeah,
you're
yeah. And I think that
doing-
something I've talked about this. I actually talked about this recently. There's a strategic way you have to be, especially when you're a female in a male dominated, soon to be equal, like we said, but a male dominated field. Because especially when you're starting out, like it's almost like you have to be overly nice to people because like you're starting out, you're building relationships with other attorneys. And then when things are said, you kind of have to make the decision in the moment to go, how am I going to address this in the right way? And how am I going to do this without getting like backlash?
Making an enemy.
Right. So like there's a lot of things that I think I'm a textbook avoider at heart. Like I don't like confrontation. I'm like a rabid dog that's backed into a corner if you put me into confrontation because I'm explosive. I am. I get angry. I'm like, get out of my face. But I don't want to do that. Like if I can get away with not doing that, that's the route I go. So a lot of the times in professional situations, if something rubs me the wrong way, I just don't encounter that person again unless I absolutely have to. And then I put on oh, hi, how you doing? Like I just get through it. But if it's in my personal life, I would definitely address it. There's no problem.
Now, wait a minute though. This is what I'm talking about. This is the difference. See, even though I feel like you're heads and tails over where I was at your age. And sometimes even at my age, like now, you are heads and tails above me and scenarios where you stand in your power. However, what we just discussed, it doesn't matter if you are a textbook avoider. I believe that because I think you get that from me. Because I would rather avoid confrontation and just everybody play nice and let's get over it. But if you're in a work environment where you're going to be working with someone all the time, you have to be able to express yourself in the most non-confrontational way to get your point across, because you don't want to have that day in and day out of being felt like you're being disrespected. And what the difference is, like I said at the beginning of this podcast, unlearning what we've been taught, and also what is generational in us, like how we're made just as women, not even what you've been taught, but somehow what we just know and what we want to do. Listen, that is doing, oh, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. No, it really isn't. We have to be able to say, I don't like that. Your turn.
Thank you. I would like to read, it's not like, I was more talking about like disrespectful behavior. Like in my work, in my job, I am in a small firm. So like I work very closely with the same people every single day. Like,
and you love them, so that's good. But
so,
then you go to court.
Right. So like there are times where I have made mistakes and had to have crow for dinner. And I've had to go to my boss and be like, hey, like accountability. Remember, Mom, accountability? Remember when you sang that?
Yeah.
Accountability. Take it, accountability.
Yeah. It doesn't feel good, but you got to do it.
And what happens with that is I take accountability. The people around you see that and they go, oh, she's going to take the high road most of the time. She's going to do what she knows is right. And then it makes them follow your lead. Sometimes you have to take the lead in that way and be like, I'm going to do this. It's uncomfortable. I don't want to do it. But you do it anyways because you know it's right. And that makes you teach people how to treat you, and you teach people kind of like how to address situations if they're unsure how to do it too. And they go, oh, I liked how that happened. And then later down the line, when it's time for them to take accountability, sometimes people still don't, which sucks. But most times people do. And then, you know, it's all.
Don't you also feel like, I do. I really do feel that most generally people are naturally good. They want to do good. It's just sometimes it's a difficult and uncomfortable thing to express but I feel like if you come towards someone with the information of maybe a disagreement or whatever, it's the delivery of the message that makes all the difference in the world. And then
I think we suck at that. I think me and you specifically, and that I'm not going to drag Dalton into this or Dad, but I think it's more Dad too. Dalton's really good. Dalton
is he's in the right industry. He is absolutely perfection for psychology.
He is so good at bringing things to the table and being like, this is what I don't like. And
not being emotional about it. You and I are like, oh my God.
Yeah, we get emotional. Yeah, we get over the top.
I do, but I do shocking emotional outbursts in the very beginning when I'm shocked by something, and then I'm like, I go, and then I go, Wah. Yeah. Isn't that funny?
No, you don't hold a grudge either. Typically, you are pretty good at letting things go and you need time. Like you got to tell Debbie and put her in a room, let her explode, and then you peek in there.
Fight my way out of this room.
I like that, and I think I've had trouble in my relationships with people who aren't natured like me, and don't know my heart right off the bat. They have a hard time dealing with the fact that I say things how it is. I go, because we've always communicated that way.
I always like when you tell me exactly how you feel. I don't want to try to read between the lines with you.
I know. We don't sugarcoat much. And then people don't like that.
People don't like that.
And
people like you to put the sugar on it.
Yeah. I think that the only, and I talk about Cassidy all the time, but the only person who has gotten me right off the bat that knows, oh, she's really not saying that to hurt my feelings. She just said that really poorly. And there are times Cassidy's been like, oh, Tori, that was harsh. And not that I've said anything to her, but I've been like, even defending Cassidy against other people. And Cassidy's like, don't tell Tori something. You will go say something to somebody. And I think that
Well,
She
you're a
knows,
loyal friend to her, Tori. It's
yeah,
you
but she
have
knows
like
my
mom
heart.
bear vibes, yeah.
So I say a lot of things off the cuff, like
Mhm.
especially in emotional situations. And I think I turn a lot of people off that way. And I'm trying to get better at being like, how am I going to say this without
Offending
making
everybody in the room.
making everybody go, oh, I don't like her because she just said that out loud. Like I say the quiet part out loud sometimes.
Yeah, and then you think, oh, I should have kept that on my in my head.
Yeah, but me and you just keep going off and on. We just go off each other. And like you will say something to me and I'm like, that's rude. And you're like, well, you said this to me, that's rude. And then dad's always like, you guys are psychotic because we'll be like, nah, 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 nah. And then you'll be like, what do you want for dinner? Do you want me to make this?
Yeah, and then he always goes, now we're done now. And now I'm like, yeah, now we're gonna have popcorn. We're gonna snuggle in bed and watch a movie.
Yeah. And dad's like, I'm out.
I like communication and to get it out. And I agree. Now I am a better communicator. This is bad. This is also something. Let's talk about this for a second. Anybody here, make a comment. Like, are you in this? Like, do you have emotional outbursts? Are you a more of like a flickering flame like Dalton?
You have outbursts.
Do you have outbursts? Do you need medication?
It sounds like a commercial for medication. Do you have palpitations at night?
But I think that it's like being able to talk to you, Tori, talk to you like I would choose my words for a stranger. Sometimes I say things just that are kind of just like what's in my head in the moment, and I don't construct it to make it to put any sugar with it, and it comes out kind of rude. That's on me. I shouldn't do that, even though I know it's almost like one of those things where you're like, it's my daughter. She knows who I am. She knows I would take a bullet for her. I love her. But yet it still doesn't feel good to hear harsh words, or right off the cuff how you feel.
Uh-oh, Lynn's going to step in.
I'm going to chime in to let you guys know because I have 3 daughters. So
I don't know how you have
hair. Lucky you have one, but it's a mother-daughter thing for one. And for two, your generation, Victoria, it is a good thing. And that's how it is that you do speak your, and I appreciate my daughters are more, they speak out more than I ever did. But yet, like me, Debbie, I say how it is too, and sometimes it doesn't come out right, because I'm from.
But I like that. I like to know where I stand with someone.
Right, but like you said, it's one of those things that my daughter keeps me in check, saying, "Mom, that's stupid," or this or that, and people go, "You're talking to your mom a certain way," but I like it because I know where they're thinking and how they are, and like my daughter's getting married in June, and she's keeping the wedding so small, and she's like, "Mom, you're not allowed to invite anybody." I'm like, okay. And you're not allowed to know things. Okay. She's having a very different whatever, but she's keeping me in check. But that's
and that's your relationship with her,
right?
And I don't judge that. And I like with Tori and I, and the way that we will speak to one another, we could do better about how the delivery of the message, but yet I still want the truth to be revealed to one another. I don't ever want the lines to be crossed or us not understand where one another is coming from. And sometimes when you put too much sugar on something, the message is not the same. It's watered down.
But you see, the thing is, and what's really great here is that you both love each other and you respect each other, have the conversations. Just like I had aired something and I was speaking to my youngest daughter who's trying to go for Spartan Project 300. And yeah, it's really exciting.
It is.
I think they had 80,000 people go for it. They're under 5,000 and she's still in the contention. But anyhow, before that, and I said some stuff, generalization, and I'm globally known now. And she's like, "Mom, you putting my sister's stuff out there." I said, "Listen, nobody knows your sisters." And my youngest daughter told me, "You're not going to have grandchildren from me." So she set me straight on that. But all I'm trying to say is that sometimes kids forget, as a parent, And as anyone else being in social media, when you're speaking from your viewpoint,
Mm-hmm.
and like Victoria speaks, well, this is how I feel when my mother makes me feel this way, or this is how I see my mom being weird to going up to people or whatever. That's her perspective. So she should say it from her viewpoint.
Sure.
That's not talking about her mother or
Oh,
whatever.
she would fight someone for her mother.
Right.
I mean, she is fiercely loyal to me, and I know that without a doubt. But that doesn't take away the fact that she and I don't always see eye to eye on things. And
Yeah.
I like that. I like the debate that she and I can get into, and it's fine. And I've learned a lot from my kids.
Yeah, I think that to that point, like I like fiercely loyal is a good for both of us, Mom. I think we're both that way. I mean, I'm your kid, so I think that it's funny because like you had Dalton and I, so of course like you're a total mama bear about things. But I'll tell you, there are times where I hear things that happen to my mom and in my mom's life, and you're lucky that my mother has a muzzle on me. I go, no way. And Mom goes, Tori, be nice. Don't say things. It's fine. I can handle it. I'm like, I'm coming in.
That's
so like,
mom.
For me, like I can talk to my mom and be like, and then the second I hear somebody else do it,
Right.
it's over.
Right. And Debbie, don't you find that it's great that when your daughter question or ask you about a situation, that you're grateful that she asked you while you're
Mhm.
still living about
Mhm.
things that you can explain, like you did earlier, to say, well, this is why I handled it back then.
Mm-hmm.
And it is just nice that our adult children can talk to us because
Mhm.
they didn't understand why we did
Right.
this, and they to them it's cut and dry. Well, they should have just did this or done that, but they didn't understand why we were in a different time. And like
Sure.
you said, kids were to be seen, not heard in our generation.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And my kids are definitely heard. I love it. And I love the fact that I was going to say earlier that it's funny. Tori is like her and Dalton. Tori's an Aries, Dalton's a Sagittarius. Tori's Aries, fire. Dalton's a Sagittarius, fire. Tori's like a bomb went off, and Dalton's like a flickering of a candle, like the flame of a candle. And he's able to, with subdued emotion, get his point across. And Tori and I both are extremely emotional, like the nerve endings are lying on the top of the epidermis. It's like, that's how it is. But you know what I'm going to do right now? You guys, while you're on here, I gotta set this up for you so you know what happened. Okay, so I was on, by the way, this weekend, if you guys are local, we have Big Brothers Big Sisters Dance for Kids Sake. Dance for Kids Sake is a huge fundraiser. So Dan Ramey of Litter Media, awesome podcast. If you're not following him, Litter Media, check it out. So Aaron Alsop, who's the CEO, and I went on the Dan Ramey show yesterday morning, and I have some clips to show you. So I didn't know, since I've been there, he has a couple more cameras. And half the time I'm like this. Like,
I was about to enter this podcast and do this. I was going to talk like this the entire time.
Oh my gosh. So I didn't know, okay, until later that night after the podcast was over. I'm like, oh, David, I said, watch the podcast. Aaron and I were with Dan Ramey today. We start watching it, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I did not know he had more cameras. I'm like, not like, now when the camera I knew was there, I'm like, sometimes I'm kind of in it. And if I'm looking at them, thank the Lord, because then you can't tell I'm not looking at the right camera. So you guys, so this is what makes me laugh. So the way my brain works is like, I can think of rhymes real fast, and I can do like marketing themes. I don't know. It just like comes to me really fast. So this is funny, this first one. But then the second clip is what makes it all funny. So I'm going to show you this.
One more. So Dan's got a way of making you reach down into those jeans and pull out the greens. And
Yep.
so
Or tux pants, whichever.
yeah, we'll
But
see
that
what
doesn't rhyme.
happens.
Or
So.
sequins.
You got to dig into the jeans to pull out the greens.
Yes,
Oh, I know. Dig into the tux to pull out the bucks.
Oh, there he is.
All right.
This
That's
is
the way
the
my
lady-
brain works.
This is why I have
This is the
two.
lady that brought out phalanges one
Yeah.
year.
One more, so.
Okay. So now, later in the podcast, I rhyme again. I didn't mean to. You guys. So this is what's funny. Erin, her reaction to me, when I watched this again, it made me laugh so hard. I just had to share it with you guys because I truly did not mean to rhyme. Well, you'll watch it. Here it goes.
You'll be able to see it.
That's true.
I like a hat. You know that.
Well,
Look at you
thank
being
you again
like,
for coming
I'm
in.
Dr.
Thanks
Seuss
for what
today.
you do. And again,
I'm like, poor Erin. She's probably like, what? Did you see her? She was looking at Dan, and she's like, no, seriously, watch this one more time. This is so.
see it.
That's true.
I like a hat. You know that.
Well,
Look at you
thank you
being
again
like,
for coming
I'm
in.
Dr.
Thanks
Seuss
for what
today.
you do. And again,
I'm like,
Oh, look at you. She's so sweet.
oh my gosh, Erin is so sweet. But yeah, but she's like, what? Are we doing some more rhymes today? What's going on? And then I'm like, I'm Dr. Seuss today. It just
I
comes
just
out.
think
Anyway.
it's funny that at no point in time you thought maybe I should stop looking
But
here.
Tori, no, I didn't. Honest to goodness. And then last night, as David and I almost peed my pants. I was laughing so hard. Roxy, I know. I was laughing so hard, and David was too. He was like, "Oh my gosh!" And I go, "Didn't know." So I sent Dan a message, and I was like, and Aaron, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I did not know you had more cameras." And it was hustle bustle that morning. He was coming in late. I was bringing coffee. We sat down and did it. He goes, "Oh my gosh, yeah, we have more cameras. I should have told you." And I said, "It's fine. I've got a good laugh out of it. Believe me." And then me, Mrs. Seuss here, like rhyming it up the whole time, like Mrs. Hokey. But you said, when I sent you a picture, you go, "Mom, it looks like you were photoshopped in."
Yeah, it looks like they photoshopped you in because you're just like you're just enough turned. You're like,
And I have no expression. I just like, oh, that's so funny. Oh my gosh. I love it. But okay, laugh. This is another thing though I wanted to say about that. Laughing with someone, awesome. But if someone laughs, like thinks they're making fun of me, that ticks me off. It does. And you know what it is? It's because for years, when I was in my people pleasing era, I would not tell people that wasn't nice and stand in my power. So they thought, okay, we'll just do this and do that. And that, like now, I'm like, no, I don't, you know what? Stop. I don't like it. It's like, I'm an intelligent woman. I've just never told you what you were doing was wrong. And now I will.
yeah.
So be ready.
I'm
Right?
thinking of Dad. Remember Dalton says Dad, when Dad feels like people are making fun of him, he takes it a step too far and you just
Yeah, then and then I don't like that either. I'm like, no, the retaliation for me. No, like if someone's behaving badly, just let them know, but don't come back with a yo mama joke or something, right?
and that's why nobody likes you. Oh yeah. Dave's coming in.
Yeah, he's coming in hot for sure. Yeah. So the more sass you have was also us encouraging you to stand in your power and a little bit of in the gene pool
Yep.
from your father. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think I need to keep this little sassafras, sassy daughter of mine. She has a lot to do this evening in preparation for a new client tomorrow. She's on her own with that. I'm so proud for you because of all the work you've done.
Yep.
Yes. And really, really happy that you're in the industry that you love. And I'm so happy that the firm you're with treat you so well and you're learning and growing as a person and in your career. It's awesome.
Great.
So lots of thoughts and prayers for her and all of you. And remember, to check out the QR code for Studio 11 Style, and that's where it's at. We have a free app. Grab it. See us on Monday nights at 7 p.m. when the girls come and we show how clothes fit different body types. I do tips and tricks and things things I use that I don't actually sell, but I really like. So I share things. We have a fun thing coming up this Monday that we're going to share with you guys on the live stream. And thank you, Lynn, for all of your global visitors that we've had pop in and out today. And with that, said the cat with the big fat hat. Okay. Dr. Seuss is back. Have a great evening. And don't forget, find it within you first. Love who you are. Believe me, you're the only one like you. Here, I'm going to be Barney in a minute. Remember that, Tori used to sing that to you?
No.
You are special, though you really are. You're the only one like you. There isn't another in the whole wide world who can do the things you do because you are special, special.
I don't remember this.
Well, okay. Barney Dalton remembers it. He loved it. You never were a big fan of Barney. Dalton loved Barney, and I'm sure he'll be really happy I announced that. So with that, y'all, have a great night and talk to you next week, hopefully. Have a good one.
Bye.
That floats around me, keeping me safe.